The Goat. We start off episode 5 with Mabel roasting Dipper, and then we instantly get a classic case of walk around and find out while she drops off the globe. Dipper asks Mabel here if she believes in ghosts, and no, this is not a Ghostbusters reference. This is actually, again, I think we got used to it at this point, foreshadowing for the things to come in this episode. As always, we get some nice decor in the background of the show. This time we have a monkey paw in a glass, as well as a preserved brain under the counter. So Wendy reveals a ladder to the roof, and I looked at the previous episodes if this ladder was visible in any of the shots, and there actually is a scene where you can see the ladder in the background in the first episode. The problem is that there is no roof access. So it's just a random ladder standing in the corner. When they go up to the roof, you can see that they opened a hatch. And same with the ladder, I wanted to check if this hatch was visible in any of the previous episodes. And it actually is. In episode 4, you can see that there's the hatch on the roof. Broken-ass continuity, still holding up. Wendy tells the twins that she sneaks up to the roof all the time during work. But in episode 3, we already saw the spot where all this stuff is standing now, and it wasn't there. So she can't really be sneaking up there all the time when the stuff is just up there right now. And this is the moment for Dipper where his crush on Wendy begins. This is underlined by the fact that even though he states that he's not lying awake thinking about her, he lies awake thinking about her. Yup, the S is still up there. After Dipper tries to act unassuming by writing down some stuff on a clipboard, we get some more foreshadowing for this episode. This time, after asking Dipper why he's not dancing with them, and he says that he doesn't dance, Mabel states that he actually does, and that their mom dressed him up as a lamb and made him do the lammy dance. And yeah, Mabel, nice going throwing Dipper under the bus like that. And why the heck does she carry that picture with her? And we get another foreshadowing moment. There are many of these in the episode. This time, Dipper says to Wendy that he is 13 after asking if he could go hang out with her and her friends, even though he's actually not 13, but still 12. Which, at least in my opinion, is supposed to signalize that he is not really happy with being 12 and would like to be older than he actually is. Yeah, Mabel just got outsmarted, and that was definitely deserved. Yep, the S is still on the roof. And here we get the introduction to Wendy's friends. The main focus being the dude doing a handstand, whose body apparently can just defy gravity because he's doing a handstand, but you know, there's no belly sagging. It's just like he wasn't doing a handstand. Oh, and another thing I noticed, the dude on the right, I think his name is Nate. He has tattoos, even though they are supposed to be around 16. At least that's how old Wendy is. So I guess that's supposed to suggest that they all are around that age. Which makes it a bit weird that he has tattoos at that age. But hey, I'm not judging. Yikes. Not the greatest introduction. Yeah, he's kinda right. Does look a bit like a muffin. Yeah, there are a lot of starting points in this episode. We have Dipper's crush on Wendy, and now we got the start of the rivalry between Dipper and Robbie. When I watched them get into the car for the first time, I saw that Robbie was getting into the back, and I thought, why the heck is he sitting in the front, trying to ride shotgun? But you can actually see him go through from the middle of the car to the front, even though he could have just used the front right door. So I don't know what his deal is, but you do you. Okay, so we got a first look at the scribbles on the roof, and we got Die Laughing, Call Me, Zombies Rule, and then something something. I think on the right there, that's Robbie. We got another muffin, a piece of pizza, and a skull with bones. These scribbles will come up in the test later on, so remember that. And they all start punching the roof, even though Thompson said that his mom doesn't want them to. Yeah, pretty much checks out when it comes to friends. On the left there, we got a sign that says, "Come back now," which seems a bit aggressive if you want to keep people coming back to the shack. To tell them that they are supposed to turn around directly after leaving. And of course, Mabel is being nice, as always. And in this scene, we also get a second look at the scribbles. And who the heck is Bo? Okay, besides Bo, you can also see that somebody wrote "wash!" on the dirty back window. How the heck did no one hear that scream? I mean, they looked surprised, but no one actually reacted to Mabel screaming. And the S is still on. Yeah, I think you guys got it. I'll just mention it if the S isn't on the roof anymore. Yeah, Grunkle Stan is definitely giving off the right vibes here. That's definitely me when I see that there are 2 unskippable ads on a YouTube video. Only a Mabel could call people dying in a convenience store a colorful history. Yeah, that sign is definitely not menacing at all. Very inviting. I don't think that's a fair comparison to make. Mabel is just different. And I like the attention to detail of Tambry already standing on the left, filming with her phone. If this would be a situation coming up today, there's definitely at least one person that would also be filming with a phone. Where the heck did Blondie go? Huh? How did he get up there? And why is he getting up there from the other side? He was just standing in front of the fence. Ladies and gentlemen, behold a 12-year-old completely outsmarting some teenagers.
Yeah! Raw power!
Ha! Get wrecked, Robbie. That's what you get for doubting Dipper. And apparently, out of pure anger, Robbie got rid of his guitar when he entered the convenience store. Yeah, just eating dust doesn't even seem that crazy anymore when it comes to Mabel. And here we can see Dipper taking a look at a newspaper from USA News from the 2nd of May 1995 with 2 visible headlines. One is "Cheese crust pizza declared delicious." I can definitely agree on that one. And the second is, war or something, which is a bit odd to mention a war in a kids show. Hey ho, editing Niceless here. While doing the edits on this part of the video, I came to another conclusion. That's why I'm going to leave my original conclusion out of the video. So I came to the conclusion that they put this in the show to display how news outlets sometimes put really unnecessary things as the main headline, even though there are definitely more urgent things that should be used as such. And this is just supposed to show how they put the fact that there's pizza with cheese crust and it tastes good above the fact that they should report on a war that's going on somewhere. You probably already know how these videos go, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you that I had to look up what Smile Dip is compared to Fun Dip, the real world alternative. And I took a look at the nutrition label of Fun Dip, and it's actually crazy how much sugar is in that little packet. Probably shouldn't surprise you that basically the whole Fun Dip is sugar. It's 12 grams per little pouch, and 11 of these 12 grams are sugar. Meaning if you down 4 of these packets, you consume more sugar than you would drinking a Coca-Cola can. Which is pretty nasty, considering it's a candy made for and advertised to kids. Yeah, this can only go the right way. Yeah, I can't really imagine why they would ban such a beautiful thing. Yeah, she is absolutely zoinked out of her mind. And that's even considering her normal mental state. Ah, yes! The well-known cosmic horror floating brain inside every freezer section. Great. Yeah, I actually think he got the point of DDR. Okay, so there are few things a bit odd about this reflection. The first one being that Wendy looks a bit odd. The second one is that you can actually see Robbie's keys hanging from his pants, but they are on the wrong side. you shouldn't be able to see the keys in the reflection because he's wearing the keys on his right side and they had to be on his left to be able to be seen in the reflection. And the last thing is that Tambry is also looking kind of odd when compared to the real Tambry standing in front of the glass. Whoa! Jesus Christ, these transitioning frames are truly a sight to behold. And apparently the gang ninja vanished because you can't see them in the background when Dipper's trying to phone home. Holy crap, Mabel reached the 4th dimension. Whoop, and she's gone. Can't see her in the background. Apparently Smile Dip gives you the ability to either become invisible or teleport. Probably the true reason why they banned it. Yeah, teasing Dipper like this is definitely not going to come back to bite them later on. Yep, that's instant karma. Those heart emojis don't seem to be all that appropriate. And for some reason the dudes are in the wrong order now. Yep, the order is still scuffed in this zoom out. Yikes. Getting killed by a spoon seems pretty brutal for a kids show. Ooh, a maze. Okay, let's see. We do this, I go down here, right, this, there. Yeah, and the corner, and then we get to here and... Wait a second. This is absolute bogus. You can't even get to the end. I feel completely unfulfilled. Thanks, Gravity Falls. Well, F2 possessed Mabel. The 4th dimensional beings seem to have gotten to her. Ayo. Why you gotta be M about the hot dog sale? That's just rude. What happened to the other hot dogs? There were more hot dogs in there before he was turned into a hot dog. Huh. You can still see the little Nate dog in the background. Apparently Robbie also disappeared because he's not in any of the shots and we don't see him get turned into a wig or something. Whoa, that was an unnecessary neck break from Mabel, but apparently she seems to be fine. Yep, getting hauled up by her hair like that, probably comfortable. And this scene is supposed to round out the whole idea about trying to be older than you actually are. And now Dipper has come to terms with being 12 and not 13. So technically not a teen. Okay, we're back to counting fingers again. Gramps over here has 5 fingers, while Granny only has 4. Just like the teens in the flashback, who also don't wear any short pants, even though that was one thing that the old timers complained about, besides the rap music. I really enjoy that the teens are still dancing, even though they just witnessed 2 old people getting their life subscription cancelled right in front of them. Whoop, and now Gramps only has 4 fingers. Anger management doesn't seem to be his strong suit. And while on the topic of suits, we get the payout of seeing Dipper in a lamb costume. And that's also a oddly realistic hand he's got there. Oof, this is really painful to watch. Wait, did Mabel eat every single packet of Smile Dip? It sure looks like it. Yep, we learned a valuable lesson here today. Drugs are evil, but you should try them out just to be sure that they really are. Thank you, Mabel. Why is Robbie sitting in this weird position here? Is he trying to mimic a dog or something? Actually a nice move from Wendy. And we also directly get the payoff for another foreshadowing scene that we saw earlier, where they did this little zipper move to symbolize them actually keeping a secret between the 2 of them. Who is going to drive that car when everyone's sleeping? And like so many times in this episode, another person vanishes. This time it's Tambry, who was actually sitting in the back row, but now she isn't anymore. Nice, I get to get nitpicky again. If we look at the etchings or marker scribbles on the roof, we can see that the die laughing call me is further apart than before. Mabel, you really played yourself there. And just before the end of the episode, we get another look at the backseat order, and it's wrong again. What a great way to close the episode. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mysteries of Gravity Falls. I'm really happy to see you write comments under these episodes. and I really love chatting with you, so please continue doing so. And just to keep this outro short, I hope to see you in the next episode of Mysteries of Gravity Falls. Until then, see ya!